Valentine coming up, and as much as it's a holiday about publicly showing someone how much you care, it's even more about the love you have for your partner.
That is true. And relationship expert Amy Hashke is here to help us cut through all the pressure of Valentine's Day and up the romance in our lives, right? Because that's what it's really about.
Bring back the ooh la la.
What's it really about, Amy? Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me today. You know, Valentine's Day, especially within the context of partnership or marriage, can really open up new freedom to explore and express love without boundaries and insecurities. Because when you're just dating, this holiday has the tendency to define the relationship, unfortunately.
Yes.
So if you're married, for example, this year, explore Valentine's Day, bring back meaning and just an inspiration. So you might recreate a first date, renew your wedding vows, get away for the weekend. There's also a program out there that will create a special song unique for your loved one.
No kidding.
When you just submit your stories and your feelings and your experiences that you have with them.
Oh,
see, that's really cool. And you don't have to do the big whole commercial thing and all the stuff that you see with, you know, you have to have the card, you have to have this. It's like, you don't have to do that to show your loved one how much you care.
Can we talk about that? Because you and I have discussed this before, and it really bothers Sean and I how sometimes, well, it kind of came up at Christmas, how there's these expectations, especially put on men.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, he did this, he didn't do this. He had the flowers, he didn't, you know, it can become very superficial.
Exactly, it can. And unfortunately, though, if you have a dismissive attitude about Valentine's Day, sometimes that's not a good look.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand the reasoning behind it, and I think it comes down to irritability around how Cupid tells us we have to spend this day, right? The flowers, the candy, the expensive dinners. So instead, what I recommend is actually ask your loved one to create a list of things that make them feel loved. Use the 14th as a springboard to express some of those things. They can be material in nature, but try to expand beyond that.
Absolutely. It can light a fire for the rest of the year as well.
Absolutely.
It's a brief reminder like, hey, you're supposed to be treating your loved one special.
That's nice.
Somebody that starts dating in January, it can get incredibly awkward on the 14th because they don't know how big or how small or if they should do anything. What do you say for people that are just getting started?
It's funny, you know, there's no real ground rules for this one, but if you've been dating, if you had a couple dates up to Valentine's Day, there's obviously an interest there. Take them out, just keep it casual. The good news is this year Valentine's Day actually falls on a weekday. It's a Tuesday.
Perfect.
So we don't have the weekend hype, the high pressure Saturday night to think about. So if you've just started dating, take them out, incorporate them into something you're already doing, right? Your Tuesday night yoga class, a yoga date, live music, a movie. Keep it casual. Don't overthink it.
Can I stick up? I just kind of defended you.
Okay. Now she lifted me up.
No,
and now she's gonna set me down.
I just want to kind of acknowledge the feeling that a lot of women have though too, and that is that you don't want to just have your partner completely pretend Valentine's Day isn't happening. That can be really hurtful.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't buy into it, it doesn't exist. Don't you think it's important to acknowledge it in some way? And I love your suggestions because I think they're new and fresh.
Absolutely. If it's important to your partner, put aside the fact that it's Valentine's Day and it's the 14th and just focus on expressing love. And if you're doing this year-round, actually Valentine's Day will have less impact and less power.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing all year long.
Yes.
Exactly. So if you send flowers on May 23rd, A, you're going to shock her, and B, when it comes to Valentine's Day, I mean, some of the work's already done for you, which is fantastic. And you don't have to pay 3 times the amount for a dozen flowers.
It's true. You know what Bill and I do? You're going to love this. So my husband and I figured out a couple years into it, it's so hard to get a dinner reservation on Valentine's Day. And it's such a pain in the, you know what? So we started going out to dinner the night before.
That's my birthday. It's a great day to celebrate.
See, we're celebrating Sean Tempest today, and we didn't know it.
As you should.
But it makes sense, right?
No, it does make sense, and you try to avoid the riffraff of the actual day. But here's the deal: the day itself, February 14th, is also known as Singles Awareness Day. There are people that are single. They go into February 14th, and some of them feel like they're on an island. What can you tell those people that might be single on Valentine's Day to kind of like put them at ease?
At the end of the day, frame it as a day of love. That means you can spend it with the love of your life, a best friend. I know of single guys who will take their mothers or their grandmothers out for dinner, bring them flowers, right? So focus on turning that toward just expressing love in general. Okay, at the same time though, it's okay to feel a little bit sad on this day if a traditional celebration of Valentine's Day is not in the cards. So for example, if you recently lost a loved one, going through a tough breakup, okay, it's okay to sit this one out this year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, try to gather some energy and just express love in general. This is a day of love.
I think your advice is so fantastic. I think you've kind of got a lot of height on the whole issue. You're like, let's step back and remember what this is really about.
Have you had good Valentines and bad Valentine's days?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've had both. I've had many where I was single and I chose to have a girls' night.
Perfect.
Right?
There you
go.
go.
All out together.
The wolf pack goes out.
It can be a great girls' night.
If we want more information about what you're doing, because you help people on their day-to-day, be it marriage counseling or just personal counseling, how do people reach out and what questions do you get asked often?
Often I get asked, what can I expect at a first counseling session?
Yeah.
So I'll often cover that, and you can find out more information at amyhashk.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Awesome. Very cool. We're following each other on Instagram now, I think it is.
We are.
Yes,
yes.
it's very cool.
Can I ask you, before we go, real quick, do you have plans for Valentine's Day yourself?
We're working on it. You know, we've been married 10 years now, so we like to celebrate the weekend after and avoid a little bit of the hype.
Which is great. And then all the prices come down and it's perfect. I love it.
And then you can get the best table at the restaurant.
There it is.
Because everything isn't overbooked.
Exactly.
Amy, it's great having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Once again.
We love hearing from Amy, and we love hearing her insight. You can get her insight one-on-one. Just go to amyhashk.com if you want to learn more. You could also connect through her on social media at Amy Hashk.